day 2 of VMware Explore Barcelona, and today has been chock full of announcements. My goodness, a lot of them around data. John, did you notice that?
Yeah, there's a central theme. I mean, I know storage is fun, but data sounds a lot cooler, right?
Absolutely. And joining us today is from the CIBG, the Cloud Infrastructure Business Group, Senior Vice President Krish Prasad. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you to both of you. Yeah, we did. I can't keep track of all the announcements we made today, but the major one was around private AI.
Yeah.
We launched it in Vegas, and today we announced 2 new partnerships. One was with Intel, and the other one was with IBM.
So with those partnerships, what are they helping us on executing with implementation, with cloud placement? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so the IBM is bringing their Watson X and allowing our customers on-prem
Oh, wow.
to run Watson.
Oh,
Okay, so Watson X running on-prem on top of our VCF foundation was the first announcement.
this is cool because I always thought of Watson as this liquid cooled
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
thing that used 8 racks in a corner, but this is something that's actually they can bring that model out.
Yeah, so model out and bring it to on-prem. Because the whole deal with private AI is keeping the data private,
Yeah.
right? So bring the execution of the LLMs closer to where the data is.
Yeah.
And with our hybrid cloud strategy, we have VCF running on-prem or in the cloud. So wherever the data is, the customer can deploy private AI foundation and run the LLMs right there.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that really changes the game, because obviously AI is powerful, and it's definitely what everybody's looking at, but not anybody wants to take their data and put it publicly.
Yes.
We're not going to be working through ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Right? So private AI makes perfect sense to me, but having partnerships like IBM and Google are really powerful.
Yeah,
Changes it.
so the Intel was the other partner I touched
Yep.
on. So Intel brings a couple of other things. One is the CPU.
Yep.
The latest generation of Xeon processor includes AI acceleration.
So this is fun because previously I had always just thought of AI as that's a GPU thing,
Correct.
and I need to go
Correct.
stand in line with
Correct.
everyone else
Correct.
to try to get access to those.
So
But
now Intel has widened the options for our users depending on the use case
Yeah.
and the type of model, and whether they are doing training or inferencing, they can choose the different kinds of infrastructure that they get from these partners.
that's going to hopefully open this up for a lot of people because Pat has all those fabs that can get supply out too. So
Yeah, not only supply out, but also the infrastructure that they are currently using in the enterprise. They can then upgrade the CPUs and continue to use them. So
Yeah.
that's a big advantage.
time to get that hardware refresh plan for the new
Yeah,
Xeons
exactly.
then.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So it was good to see NVIDIA again. They were in
Yeah.
Las Vegas, and they were here and on stage with Raghu. How's that partnership been working out?
I mean, look, NVIDIA is the undisputed leader in AI, right? And everybody recognizes that. The interesting thing is, if you have been to Explore for the past 2-3 years, you know that we started working very closely with them maybe 3-4 years ago. And over the last 2 years, Jensen talked about this on stage in Vegas. The engineering teams of both companies have been working on fine-tuning and making sure that the AI performance on our platform is the same or better than bare metal. And that's what we have delivered. So he talked about how he got fantastic results.
That's big. There's big implications for that,
Yeah.
particularly if you can only get so many of these things, or the power limitations on your data center.
Correct.
Anything you can do to get more out of that.
Yeah, so I mean, so customers can now use the same platform that they use for running normal applications also for LLM. So they don't have to set up a different infrastructure.
Okay.
It's the same management, the same, right? You just set it up and run, and it gives you the same or better performance. People are always surprised that how can we get better performance than bare metal?
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is, think of us as an operating system, and our scheduling algorithms that we use to schedule the CPU and memory are much better in some cases.
It's amazing. Yeah, you just would never imagine that you could get faster than bare metal,
Yes.
but certainly software can do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah. So big announcements around AI. Obviously, a lot of announcements around VMware Cloud Foundation as well.
Yes.
We're going to talk more about that later. But you've been here all week. What has been top of mind for you this week?
I think if you look at the customers here, there are two areas. One is the private AI. Everybody has an AI project. They are talking about Gen AI. There is investment within the companies set aside for Gen AI. So a lot of interest. And customers are trying to figure out, where do I start? How do I start? What's the right approach? All of that. So the private AI thing resonates with people.
Yes, it does.
About keeping the data private, bringing the processing to where the data is. So that's number one. Number two is, there is a lot of interest in sovereign clouds, right? And we have a huge array of partners delivering sovereign clouds in EMEA as well as in Asia Pac. And so that's, a typical EMEA region, customers want. There are a lot of regulatory implications about where you can send your data and so on. So customers like to have the sovereign cloud within the country's boundaries with compliance and security controls and all of that. So those are the two areas that seem to be resonating a lot.
Always top of mind for sure in Europe is the regulatory compliance and all that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
So John and I have had several conversations with customers this week, just about how they're thinking about using AI. Whether it's retail, just for even detecting shoplifting.
Yes.
Like all types of really exciting use cases.
Yeah.
And most of it it depends on a private LLM. So that's. Really
VMware ourselves. We have been looking at coding and productivity of developers, right? And so, but we don't want to take our ESX code and send it out to a public cloud to train.
Yeah.
So we kept it internal. We are using SafeCoder platform, right,
Yeah.
to actually accelerate the coding and generate code for our developers. And we found that we are able to do it at much lesser cost than what we were originally envisioning on-prem.
Well, Krish, just promise me that you won't do, AI podcasting, because John and I want to keep a job.
Yeah,
It's
great to be with you. And it's a very exciting week. I think seeing the number of customers, isn't it amazing? The number of customers who are here.
Absolutely.
And they super excited to see their engagement and how inquisitive they are about all the innovations and all of that. So
normally, like previous years, it would be like US was way bigger than Barcelona.
Correct.
And now they're pretty neck and neck.
It's like Barcelona is giving a run for the money.
Absolutely. And John and I always say this on the podcast, but it's like the audiences here in Europe, they're a little different in the sense that they're very technical.
Yes.
And they have very good
engaged.
questions. Very good questions.
Yeah,
and so
very engaged.
This is a very productive week.
Yes.
People come here to learn and to make big decisions. So
And
it's an
eat
exciting
tapas,
week.
but yeah.
And eat tapas.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
always get energized, seeing a lot of customers the entire week, being able to spend time with them, getting their feedback, right? And so it's amazing. vSphere has, 350,000 customers worldwide, and so you see most of the customers here are, big fans of the product and
Absolutely.
the lifetime users and all that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely.
so
This is making their careers for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So thrilled to be here.
Well, Krish, thanks so much for sharing the brief updates. I know most folks are going to be going and heading to VMware.com to check all the updates for today's announcements. Krish, it's been great having you. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.